The interim president of Syria, Ahmad al-Sharaa, has made an urgent appeal for peace. This comes after a series of violent clashes have shaken the nation. The clashes have resulted in significant loss of life and widespread fear. Al-Sharaa's call for peace is a plea for unity and stability in a nation grappling with turmoil. His words echo the deep desire of the Syrian people for an end to the violence that has plagued their nation for far too long. The Syrian people have endured years of conflict and instability. The recent outbreak of violence is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace. The international community watches with bated breath, hoping that al-Sharaa's call will not go unheeded. The need for peace in Syria is paramount, not just for the Syrian people, but for the stability of the entire region. The road to peace will undoubtedly be fraught with challenges. However, al-Sharaa's appeal offers a glimmer of hope. It is a call to action for all sides to lay down their arms and engage in meaningful dialogue. The world is watching, hoping that this time the call for peace will lead to lasting tranquility in the war-torn nation. The international community has a crucial role to play in supporting Syria's journey towards peace. Diplomatic efforts must be intensified to bring all parties to the negotiating table. Humanitarian aid must be provided to those who have been displaced by the violence. The path to peace is arduous, but with collective will and effort, it is not unattainable. The recent violence in Syria erupted with sudden ferocity. It began with a series of ambushes targeting government forces. These ambushes, reportedly carried out by pro-Assad loyalists, sparked wider clashes. The situation escalated rapidly, engulfing parts of the nation in a renewed wave of violence. The coastal areas of Latakia and Tartus, once strongholds of the Assad regime, became the epicenter of the fighting. These areas, home to a significant Alawite population, witnessed scenes of intense conflict. Reports emerged of heavy casualties on both sides, painting a grim picture of the escalating violence. The Banias gas power plant, a vital piece of infrastructure, became a focal point of the clashes. An attack on the facility by remnants of the former regime triggered fierce fighting. The plant, responsible for a significant portion of Syria's electricity generation, suffered damage, further exacerbating the challenges faced by the nation. The violence sent shockwaves through a nation yearning for stability. It underscored the deep divisions that still plague Syria. The clashes served as a stark reminder of the challenges in forging a peaceful and unified nation from the ashes of a protracted conflict. The violence in Syria has had a devastating impact on the civilian population. Hundreds of families caught in the crossfire were forced to flee their homes. They sought refuge in safer areas, including the Russian military base in Hmaymim and neighboring Lebanon. The displacement of civilians added another layer to the humanitarian crisis in Syria. The international community responded with calls for an immediate cessation of hostilities. The United Nations urged restraint and called for investigations into the violence. The United States condemned the killings and expressed support for Syria's minorities. Germany echoed these sentiments, calling for accountability and an inclusive political process. Iran, while critical of the killings, questioned the interim government's control over the situation. Israel, on the other hand, accused the new Syrian leadership of perpetrating the violence. The international community's response highlighted the complex geopolitical realities surrounding the Syrian conflict. While there was a consensus on the need to end the violence, differing perspectives on the conflict itself posed challenges for a unified international response. The recent violence in Syria is a stark reminder of the long and arduous journey the nation faces towards unity and reconstruction. The fall of the Assad regime last December, after decades of rule and a brutal civil war, marked a turning point in Syria's history. However, the transition to a new era has been fraught with challenges. The formation of a new cabinet, reportedly representing Syria's diverse religious and ethnic groups, was seen as a positive step towards inclusivity. However, the recent violence underscores the deep divisions that persist within Syrian society. Addressing these divisions is crucial for lasting peace and stability. The Syrian people have endured unimaginable suffering. The destruction of infrastructure, including the recent damage to the optical cable linking Daraa and Damascus, highlights the immense task of rebuilding the nation. The international community must stand in solidarity with the Syrian people, providing support for reconstruction and reconciliation. The road ahead for Syria is long and challenging. However, amidst the ruins and despair, there is hope. The Syrian people, known for their resilience, yearn for peace and a brighter future. The international community must support their aspirations, working together to build a Syria where peace and unity prevail.